I'm back with my next video of Sunday Stories, and today, as you must have read the title of the story is Photo. This whole story revolves around the feelings and the thoughts of a lady who, since she was a child, since she was just a little girl, she had been taught that ladies do not speak much, they have to be submissive, they have to be weak, they should know all the household chores. They were told, now she was not a very old lady, she must have been around in her 60s, all right, but she was an educated lady, but she had been taught since the childhood that ladies do not argue with men, they do not speak much, they should keep their opinions to their own selves. If asked, only then they should give the opinion. And so has to be taught to the other generations. So this lady belongs to this type of a generation where they don't speak much, they have their thoughts, they have their desires, which they keep in themselves. They do not reveal or they do not share it with anyone, not even with their husbands. Alright, I'm sorry, there's a little disturbance. I think there's construction going on all around my house, you know, my neighbors this side, my neighbors there, everybody is getting something or the other done. This noise is there. Alright, so I'll be a little loud so that I can subside that. Anyway, so now what happens is, after a long marriage of around 40 years, the husband takes her back to her own village, the girl's village. She had not been there much, only during, when she had got married, then 2-3 visits she was able to do. Later on, when her family began and she became busy with her own family, she was not able to go back to meet her mother or her parents or anyone in the village. She wanted to, but as she had been taught, she never spoke out. Alright, so she goes and she stays there for a few days. Now what happens is, when she was helping her mother, she goes to the backyard to take out rice from a sack of rice which was kept in the backyard in some store or something. She goes there and suddenly she is bit by a scorpion. The scorpion, as soon as the scorpion stung her, just like a snake stings, same way a scorpion stung her and left the poison in her body. The tail has got all the poison stored. So once the scorpion bites someone or stings someone, it leaves its diabolic tail, the poisonous tail, and quickly vanishes because it's very poisonous. And if the scorpion's poison, because it has stung, so the poison has gone in, spreads to the whole body of any animal or human beings, the person dies. Very rare, seldom are the chances to save him if, just at that time you save. So now what happens is that this lady is stung by a scorpion and she shouts, she screams, she herself becomes very scared and she screams, and everybody, surrounds her, and she was now in pain, and it's very painful. And the way this poison is spreading, as the circulation of your blood is always going on when you're alive, so that poison was also started spreading, and as it is spreading, it creates a lot of pain. The person suffers a lot. So now she was in pain and she was moaning and groaning and lying. She could not do anything. She was so much in pain, and the the daughter of this lady, the protagonist lady, she was standing and looking at the mother, small daughter. She was looking and she felt very bad as to why her mother was suffering so much. So now the husband was an Ayurvedic doctor. He tried, his own herbs. He quickly brought things and he started grinding and, he started doing his own treatment. The villagers came to know. Now in that village, people are not very educated, right? And what they had a belief was that if you click your tongues, they click their tongues so that all the negativities are removed, all the evil spirits leave, and it is believed that if the scorpion has stung her, then some evil spirit is all around and has stung her, and so to remove all the negativities, they should click their tongues. So all the villagers, the ladies and all, they came and they stood at the doorway and they started clicking their tongues. They kept doing that to remove all the evil spirits and the negativity. Father, he did not stop anyone. The husband of this lady did not stop anyone from doing so, because everybody's got their own beliefs and faiths. And the illiterate ones, they have their own ways. So he didn't want to contradict or argue at that time. He did his own things. A person came, he said, if you want to stop the poison to spread, the place that it has stung, put paraffin wax on top of it and burn it, so that part is burned and the poison doesn't spread. Someone even suggested to cut her leg and all that, to amputate her leg. Now this was too much. The husband did not reply anything, and husband just gestured that wait, and he kept treating her, that whole area, with the herbs, and even he started putting something in her mouth so that the pain is relieved or something. Everything was being watched by all the villagers. Everybody did what not. There were people who were sitting and praying and they started doing and chanting the mantras and all that. So after some time, be it because of the enchantings of the mantras or the clicking of tongues of the people, or that the father that was treating, the husband who was treating in his Ayurvedic way, the lady became okay. Whole night she suffered. It was a very dreadful night, but in the morning she was all right. And as soon as she became okay, what did she say? Thank God the scorpion didn't bite my husband or my children. So was such this lady. Now she comes back to her own city, and once, when she was returning with her husband in a scooter, they had gone somewhere and she was returning. The husband stopped the scooter at one side because his phone was ringing, and since he was an Ayurvedic doctor, there were times he had to go to people at night too. So he quickly stopped the scooter, and she got down of the scooter and he talked to someone, and she could come to know that there was someone who had expired. So the husband said, all right, when, where? Oh God, all that, And then he said, all right, I'm coming. So the husband told the wife that somebody, he knew one of his friend's wife had expired, and he had to go there immediately because they needed him. So now this lady said, all right, then you drop me home and you can go. So he said, no, now if I go home, if I take that distance to drop you, it will take a lot of time. So come along with me and just stay quiet and sit with the ladies there. If, we can go and see how situation is, and I'll talk to the person, and if I can help. Now the death has already taken place, but if any help I can be of to anyone, I will surely like to help, at least at this time. So the wife agreed, and they went to that house. Now when they reached there were these ladies, and there were few, who were crying very loudly, and the husband went and we went towards the male members who were sitting there. The dead body of that lady was lying in the middle. Everybody was, touching the feet and sitting, and everybody was very sad. They were mourning about the death. the sudden death. So now this lady also went and sat down, and there was some other lady sitting, and she saw who she has come and asked, "Who are you? Do you stay nearby?" So this lady just stayed quiet, didn't say much, and just said, "No, I've come with him, and my husband knew these people." So that lady, kept quiet. So, and she started crying again. It's always like that. People are more, they want to know, curious about who has come and who has not come, how they are related, who this is, who the son is, who the husband is. Everybody is so very curious to know about other people. So, she saw the dead body, and then suddenly there was a commotion and everybody was finding something. So that lady sitting beside our protagonist, our main lead role, told that, they are searching for a photograph. After death, a photo has to be put there. The dead body is taken, it is cremated, funeral takes place, and the dead body goes. But after that, a few pujas and all have to be done, and you require a photograph. So they are finding a good photograph with front face of this lady, the lady who has died. So she also turned around to see, all right, everybody is finding, they were searching their phone, they were searching old albums and all, and there was a lot of chaos over a photograph, and people were not able to find a front faced photograph of that lady. So after some time, she sees her husband gesturing, all right, we are going. She got up from there and they went home. But this thing left an impact on her mind. Photograph. Why couldn't they find a photograph of hers? She was, the whole night she kept awake thinking about that lady, and then, she herself was reminded about her past. When she was small, since their childhood, the girls had been taught to stay inside, to stay submissive. And even when she got married, she had to keep her drape, the palla of the sari or whatever the wedding dress was, it was still here. So the whole face was never visible. And even the photograph that had been sent before marriage to the boy's house, her photograph, that was of childhood. School girl, because the girls used to get married early. So now she even remembers her time, and then even she feels, and she tries to remember whether she has a photograph of hers or not, a front-faced photograph. Now, she didn't discuss with anyone because they were never told to discuss. It was always that whatever your desires and thoughts are, keep them with you. Only speak when you are asked or told to suggest. So, such was the condition of this lady. Now, whole night, she had a very sleepless night, and in the morning she got up, all right. And why did they need the photograph? They had to put it there the next day, plus they wanted to publish it in the newspaper so that the people, the relatives who stay far away, they can see the photograph in the newspaper, because people read newspaper, and in the place where they have this section where you can put about a person who has died and when the other rites are, all right, after when is the funeral and when is the other rites after the chautha and all that, everything is mentioned at that with the photograph. Now they needed the photo for that also. So now early in the morning she got up and she started her daily course. She started cooking for her husband. She had to pack his lunch. He used to take his lunch along and all that. She did her work, her everything, she did her work, and the newspaper used to come at 8. So she saw the newspaper come. The newspaper man used to come and throw the newspaper, and after finishing her work, after the husband had gone, she quickly brought in the newspaper, opened the newspaper, and to see, which photograph of that lady had been put in the newspaper. She was curious, whole night she had been thinking about the lady and her photograph and how they would manage. So now she was not able to recognize any with the, dead body that was lying there the previous night. So she was over curious. And over curiosity made her do something without permission. She did not tell anyone. She did not ask anyone. And next day, around, after finishing her work at around 12:30, she went to the same house where she had gone with her husband the previous night, where the death had taken place. She went there. Again, she met the neighbor ladies, They were all again sitting over there, doing nothing, only crying and moaning. Sometimes some people are very dramatic, but other times people feel that these people have lost someone, so we should be there. So we can take it both negatively and positively. So she goes and sits down, and she sees that there's a photograph over there. So she's very curious. All the ladies are sitting here, all right, and she wanted to see the photograph that side. So anyways, she had come for this reason, and she did not want to wait for a long time because she was afraid her husband might come to help. So she went around and to see the photograph, and to her surprise, the photograph that they had put was of her school time. School photograph, where they had clicked the photograph of this girl, of this lady who had died, with two, those plates tied up here with ribbon. So she sees and she feels so bad. Oh God, they did not find a photograph for this girl, and this photograph is of school time. Maybe the school people had clicked it. So now this thought was totally, in her mind. She was obsessed with this thought. She came home quickly. First thing she did was she took out her albums. See, all her feelings, all her thoughts, all inside her. She did not discuss about anything to anyone. Now what she must be feeling? Why was she searching her albums? She wasn't searching that lady's photograph. She felt, if I die, just a few days back the scorpion had bit me, I could have died. It was by God's grace, or whatever the reason be, I still survive. I was saved by my husband's medicines, prayers and chantings of the people and all. But if I had died, did my family have my photograph? So she quickly took out the albums. She searched all the albums. Recently, a marriage had taken place in their family. She searched that also. Everywhere she could see a little visibility of her face or a side pose. There was no photograph of hers too, which had a front-faced photograph. She was very upset. She searched around, many albums. She even took out a microscope to see whether they could enlarge any photograph from there. What would they do? She had heard about all this merging and enlarging of photographs and all, and this advancement of technology, but there was no such photograph. She felt so bad. Such was the plight of women who were not allowed to speak. Even during their marriage, at that time they had to cover their face. They didn't see who all were available, what people's reactions were, what they were doing. She didn't look at anyone. She had to keep her head down, meek, submissive, ladylike. Now she was totally against this. She, for the first time, she felt this is wrong happening with the ladies. They are not allowed to speak. They are not allowed to say what they want. Their opinions are not asked for. Their viewpoints are different from the others. Maybe they know more than the men. For the first time, she felt so. Anyways, now her mixer grinder was not working and she had to go to market to give it. The husband had told her, give it well, returning home, I'll bring it back. So she went to the market with that mixer grinder, and while returning, she saw a photo studio. Now she thought, let me go and ask whether I can get my photo clicked. She went inside, the photographer was there. The photographer said, all right, which type of photo, passport size photograph or whatever, what photograph you want. So she saw a photograph there. She said, I don't want a passport size or anything. I want this big. There was a frame, and she said, I want this big and just the face of mine. Please, I want this photo to be clicked. And she was, fully scared because she was doing something which she had never done. So the man said, all right, I have a room here. There was a black curtain over there. Go inside, and if you want, you can put lipstick and all. Things are kept there. You want to comb your hair, and I'm just coming with the camera. She said, all right. Now she was scared why he was taking in that room. She had never gone to a photo studio. We all know, you know, they have got a separate room which is covered. They have lights and all, and then they have a mirror. They have comb, and if you want to, you know, comb again and do things right. But she didn't know. She went inside, and the man also came, and suddenly she saw that in that room where there was just a curtain and there was no one else, she got scared and she ran away from there. But this thing that she didn't have a front-faced photograph was there in her mind. She was very, very scared. So, and now she was so obsessed. What to do? So the next day, when she was standing in the balcony thinking about this only, she saw her neighbor's daughter, you know, playing downstairs and clicking photographs with the mobile of the flowers, the roses, the sun and everything. So then she got an idea and she called that girl up. She gave her sweets to eat and she said, I want you to click my photograph. Now she was a small girl. She clicked photograph with Almira coming at the back, photograph with something else. But anyways, that girl was very smart. She even brought her goggles. She said, all right, auntie, wait, I'll bring my goggles. I'll bring that. I'll bring, do this, do that. And all funny photographs that, you know, girl clicked for this lady. This lady was very comfortable and she was laughing and smiling because she was feeling she was doing something different. But then none of the photographs were very good. And how would she get a photograph, you know, out of that mobile? She was a young girl. So that young girl said, all right, I can, you know, make a Facebook account of yours and I will put the photograph there. But this lady didn't know anything about Instagram, Facebook. What was that? So now this also failed. Now when this photography was going on, the maid came and the maid quickly went and washed the utensils. Later, you know, after 2-3 days, the maid of this lady asked, why do you want a photo to be clicked? So she said, see, I don't have any front-faced photo, and she didn't want to share everything, you know. So I want one, you know, just for myself, no other reason. So that lady, that maid said, all right, I'll try to find out. I'll ask my son and all, and I'll tell you where and I'll take you. So this was a better option. She felt all right. This my maid is going to take me, and she had already told that lady, you won't leave me, you'll be there with me. So the maid said, all right, I'll get your photo clicked. Now the maid next day came with a, you know, studio's address, and this was the condition of this lady, that don't take a nearby studio because you know, they might know my husband and I don't want to tell anyone. We'll go somewhere in the bus, somewhere far off. So the maid said, all right, I'll ask my husband. Next day she brought a card with the address and all, and she said, chalo, we'll go, and you dress up nicely. This lady wore a beautiful orange sari, all right, and that, you know, the husband had only given once, but because they never went out, they didn't go out for parties and all so very much, so this sari was never worn. Beautiful, you know, orange golden sari, and she wore that, and she had flowers in her garden, the white and yellow flowers. She made a little garland with that and kept it in her purse. She thought, I'll go and wear it in the studio. Now she went to the studio with that maid in a bus. They reached there, and you know, for so many days, this photo, the obsession of a photograph, front face photograph, was there in her mind. She had hardly slept. Sound sleeps were just gone. So now they reached the studio. The studio was, you know, a big one. So she stopped her maid and she said, see, this is a very expensive thing. Why are we here? So now, but the maid said, no, my husband told he's the best photography here. So just one photograph, you can afford that much. So that lady said, no, money is not the problem. I have my card also. I have all the facilities. But I'll have to ask my husband also if it can be done with the cash that I have. My parents have been giving me. So anyways, they went in, and beautiful, a very posh studio. The photographer came and took all the details of the size of the frame and all, and said, all right, this will charge around 5,000 rupees for 4 photographs. She said, no, I don't want 4 photographs. I just want 1. So we said, no, we don't give 1. That is for big orders and all. So if you want 4 photographs for 5,000. So anyway, she wanted 1, and she just checked her purse, and she had around 7,000-8,000 that had been given, by her parents whenever they used to come, and she had been collecting, never spent any money because she was not allowed to spend. She had to ask her husband. So she had that money, and she said, all right. She went in with the maid, and the maid put that garland, and she was just looking like a goddess. Beautiful lady, Indian beauty. She was looking very pretty. But when the photographer came in front of her, there was a scary look, and she was with those eyebrows and very scary look. So the photographer said, all right, see, if you're spending such a lot of money, have a, relaxing face, get relieved, sit down, drink water, relax, and then click a nice photograph. So again, when the photo was clicked, it was not a good one. He said, he used to click and then he used to delete. He said, no, this is not the right thing. And then he said, all right, think of something nice, something that you dream of, something that you want. Smile. Think you have got that. Give a smile. Close your eyes, and then when you open, you will have a smile on your face, and I'll click. So this lady closed her eyes, and do you know what she was thinking? Only about this photograph. This had, taken the impact of that lady not having a photograph, her childhood photograph, put garland on that photograph, on the childhood photograph. She had felt very, very bad at this, and she didn't want the same to be done with hers after her death. So, she kept thinking, and then she started thinking when her eyes were closed, that now she had got that photograph. All right. She thought that she had got the photograph. She couldn't see anything. She was just, she just saw there was a photo frame in her hand, and she was very happy and relieved that now her photograph was there. This lady, since childhood, no demands. Now also, she had just no dreams. Only this photograph, which people would require after her death. But the smile that came on her face, she was so happy. And then she opened the eyes, and she had a very beautiful, a gorgeous smile. And quickly the photographer clicked photographs. The photography was done. The photographer said, all right, you can choose which photograph you want. She said, I want all the 4. Put 1 in the frame, and others you can just put it in the envelope. Until when will you send? He said, see, it will take time. So I'll send the photograph tomorrow. Give me your address and your photo will reach there. She, particularly gives the timings, not before 8, not after 4. Because the husband would come at around that time, leave, So she wanted the photograph to arrive in the middle. So she said, see, I keep going somewhere or the other, so I need the photograph at this time. He said, all right, 10 o'clock you'll get your photograph. My man will come and deliver and give you address and all. So now she is very happy, very relieved. They take the bus back. The maid servant used to stay somewhere else. So the maid servant tells her, see, yours is the next stop. You can get down. Can I get down over here, or shall I leave you home? She said, no, you have done so much for me. You get down here, and I'll get down in the next stop. Next stop, she gets down. She had to cross the road. It was a busy road. As soon as the bus moved, she started crossing. A car was rushing towards her. It was a speeding car. The man was not able to put brakes. Suddenly, this lady had come in front. The car went over her, crushed her. She died on the spot. People gathered, quickly took out her, they opened the purse. They wanted to know who that lady was. Fully dressed with the flowers, orange sari, beautiful she was looking. They opened her purse and there was that studio number. They called that studio and they came to know that the address was this. They said this lady is here and can you tell the address? So the studio man said, all right, yes, I have the address, and they gave the address. The dead body was taken home, the husband reached, and it was the sudden demise. Everyone was upset. Everybody started, after some time, dead body was lying there. Everybody in the house, a relative started piling up. Everybody came and started searching her photograph. They searched all the albums. They searched every photograph that they had in the house. There was no photograph of hers. There were photographs, but none a front-faced proper photograph. All the marriage photographs had her, the palla till here, the drape was, her face was half draped. The husband felt so bad that here too, he did not have his wife's photograph. He felt very bad. Even he felt, now he realized that plight of women is so bad that they don't have a photograph of them. The night passed. 10 o'clock next morning, the doorbell rang. The studio boy was standing with 4 photographs. Someone opened the door and brought in, and the maid was shocked to see the photographs. The maid came to know, she was crying like hell. She had not told anyone about the studio and the photograph. But when the photographer came, the man from the studio came, and the husband took out the photograph. A wonderful photograph of his wife. Orange sari, flowers, the makeup on, so gorgeous and so beautiful, happy and relieved she was in that photograph. So very beautiful she was, even he had never realized when she was alive. He looked at the photograph and he burst crying. The other photographs were also seen, all wonderfully done by that studio man. And yes, she was a beautiful lady. The photograph was put, the garland was put on that. The only person crying loudly over there was the husband and the maidservant. She told the husband all about the desires of his wife. He was so sorry that he had never discussed with her, never asked her about her dreams, about her desires, about her wants. She had quietly taken whatever he had given. She had not even asked for a photograph of hers which he would require after her death. The story ends here. Let women in your family speak. Let them tell about their wants and desires. Let them live their lives as they want. It is expected in houses, especially after marriage, that the woman of the house should never make mistakes. The bahu of the house should do as she's told. Why not make mistakes? She is also a human being. Let her make mistakes. Let her live freely. She is the one who gives birth to humanity. Woman is the one who carries the baby 9 months in her womb. She gives birth to the people, to everyone. It is the woman who has given birth to all of us. Why not love her, respect her, give her freedom, let her have her own liberty. Let her live and love life. Do give your opinions. Do not just stay quiet. Give your opinions on this in my comment section. Do let me know how the story was. We'll meet next Sunday with another story. Till then, goodbye. Take care.